Hello, hello, hello. I think we are live. I think, one moment, everyone. Let me get myself situated, get my camera all right, because I think it's a bit dark here. Assalamu alaikum, assalamu alaikum, assalamu alaikum to all Gambians. Gambians at home, Gambians abroad. Assalamu alaikum. I want to first say Juma Mubarak to all of you. Ramadan Kareem. And also just to say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. It's a beautiful day today. It's Friday and we are in the fasting period. I hope we take this opportunity to cleanse our souls, cleanse ourselves as we are praying and fasting. I am excused for a couple of days because I'm not feeling so good as a woman thing, but I will continue my fasting as a new Muslim. I think this is very important for me. It's an important time for me, and it's a time for meditation. It's a time for reflection. It's a time for forgiveness. On that note, I want to talk to a lot of people, the Gambians, our people, us. Let us talk. Let's chat. Let's have a conversation. And the conversation is about our country. The conversation is about what our country is about and where we are going as a nation and as people. As we are in this fast month, this Ramadan, it is really essential that we are true to ourselves. You cannot be in this prayer mode, be in this time of meditation, and still lying or misleading people, misleading the nation. We deserve better. We are going to come here all the time and we are going to talk about this. We are going to come here all the time and we are going to sensitize. It doesn't matter how many times we do it, we have to keep on doing it. We have to keep on talking. We have to keep on, somewhere, somehow, somebody is listening. Somehow somebody is listening and somebody is changing. And it takes all of us to do that. It's not just me, it's everyone. We have to do this collectively. I had a conversation with Brother 𝐚𝐬𝐲 a while ago, and he said, Marie, this Gambia, we need to, I'm done. I said, no, you cannot be done. It's difficult. I know it's difficult, Nyang, but this is what we have to do. We have to be the voice. We have to come out there and say it as it is. Some people might like us, some might not like us. Some people might be inspired. You don't even know who you're inspiring that day. You don't even know who you're waking up that day. You don't even know how bad people's situations are. And sometimes when they look at us or see people like us talking and giving inspiration, like Kumba Dafe, she comes with this fantastic, phenomenal, revelations and motivational speaking and encouragement. She's inspiring a lot of people just by doing that. So we cannot stop. It is our duty as people, as Gambians, to do this all the time. Now, the reason why I'm here today is a couple of things. Some of my fellow Gambians, of course, we're all complaining about price inflation. We're all complaining about everything is high and all that. Yes, it is. All over the world, everything is high. Everything is skyrocket. But our little Gambia, let us not use what is happening in other countries and apply it to ourselves. We are only about 2 million inhabitants. We have our farms. Our farms are there. I wish we had ignited agriculture then we will not complain about bags of rice being $2,500 for Saddam or $2,650. I wish we would grow our own vegetables, and we are growing our own vegetables, but we are not buying from our people. Everything in Gambia is basically imported. There's a lot of commodities that we can do for ourselves. Then we are not going to feel that price change or price rocketing. Because if we have our own homegrown rice, we have our own vegetables, we have our seas. How difficult is that for 2 million inhabitants? But of course, our fish, our seas are sold. You have to buy the fish per kilo, and you have to buy it from our Chinese brothers who are here. Everything is mortgaged. We are still encouraging the importation of rice because there's a monopoly on it and people are making money off of it. So they're not encouraging the growth of our own rice. You cannot even afford to buy fish anymore. Just look around you. These are things that we don't need to import. These are things that the price shouldn't be high because they're right here in our backyard. So yes, we have to sometimes blame the government because they should have initiative to ignite these things so that people can follow suit. And how do you ignite these things? First, by canceling or limiting the importation of rice, igniting agriculture, getting everybody going back to the land, trade, and the Minister of Agriculture can now work together to regulate the prices of just, tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers. These are things that really, honestly, price should not skyrocket on those things. But today, if you buy one jahatu, which is a bitter tomato, if you buy one jahatu for $5, tomorrow is $10. When it's just in your backyard. So we cannot just sit back and say, oh, we're using this as politics, and oh, we're using this as propaganda. Yes, some politicians are using it as propaganda and all that, but that's also the reality. The reason why they can use it is because it's the reality on ground. Other countries that have price increment, for example, the United States, minimum wage in the United States is not anymore $10. You go to McDonald's now for a job. I know some young girls that are working there that are making $15, $16 an hour, depending what state you are. Minimum wage in some states are $18 an hour. They went up in wages. But in the Gambia, where's the wage increment to match the buying capacity? There was no wage increment, but prices are high. People earn about what? $35 a month, $50 a month, where in the US you're earning $18 an hour as minimum wage, $16 an hour on minimum wage. Come on, you cannot compare the Gambia and the West. Because they have a system, they have laws, and the people fight for their rights, and they're heard. What we need to do is to start talking to our leaders. Maybe help them, maybe through our little talking here, encourage the Minister of Trade to come out there, get off his air-conditioned car and go around and see. Minister of Agriculture, get off his high horse, get off his, the big car they're driving and go out there and really see what is going on in town. Because some of these things that are increased in price were increased prior to the Ukraine war, the Russia-Ukraine war. Even in the US, price was up prior to the Russia-Ukraine war, because I was there. Price went up during COVID because of shipping and the shipping logistics or flights or whatever, things that are imported we're all expensive. That's understandable. But in the Gambia, there's a lot of things that we can use that we don't need to import, because it's right here in our backyard. From rice to vegetables to seafood, we have it. Tomatoes, whatever you need for a daily meal is right here in our backyard. So don't tell me that, oh, because other countries increase, oh, it's everywhere, Gambia should get on it. No, don't buy that. Don't buy that. And yes, we will put everything on the government, because we want the ministers that are sitting there to be more active, to be aware of their surroundings and what is happening, to come out and see and, let them sit out the round table and talk and discuss on how to move the Gambia forward. It's the little things that matter. Your people need to survive on a daily basis. Infrastructure and all these things can come later. They can all be part of that. But if your people don't have anything to eat or their daily needs are met, then it's a problem. And we have sectors for that. These sectors have to start working. We cannot be politicking from 2019. Now it's 2022. We need to start working. Ministers are supposed to be in their office, strategizing, working with their teams to see how best to do this and do that. I started in 2019 politicking. And I've been talking about this through my campaign and through my politics. There has not been any productive work since that time in these offices. And yes, we will come here and hold people accountable. If I was in office, I want people to hold me accountable because I want to perform. And it's not like you're telling me or you're downgrading me or you want me to be better. The reason why people talk or hold government accountable is so they get better. We need to sometimes accept criticism because it is good for us. It's the only way we get better. If every day somebody tells you, wow, 𝐚𝐬𝐤𝐢𝐫𝐢𝐧𝐠 def ngeen lu baax, mashallah, jaarama, you will think you have done your best. Meanwhile, you're not doing anything. But because those people are under your pay, or in your pocket, they will tell you what you want to hear. We are very sensitive as people, as Gambians in general. Gambians are very sensitive. Everything you say, they see it as a negative or an insult. No. I look at everything and said, you know what? If this is what they're talking about me or saying about me, I should be better. I should do things different. Or I'm going to be just like this. Let them accept me or not. And that's just what it is. Once we start accepting that and accepting criticism, trust me, we will do better. So if I was in office and I'm not doing good and people are coming out and talking, that should encourage me to do better. That should encourage me to say, you know what, people are complaining because they're not happy with me. What am I doing wrong? Let me go back to the drawing board. For Christ's sake, the ministry, you all have a big team from the PAMSEC to the deputy. It's a big team in every ministry to sit and strategize and see what is. Send your guys out there, over there to look at what is missing, what can be done. How can it be done? Instead of excuses. The excuses are so much that even the regular gardener or the regular watchman at your house is also giving excuses. Huh? The whole Gambia is full of excuses. And it's so easy because it's easy to give excuses and just say, like, I wanted to do this, but then this is what happened. And until we have a stern hand I'm not saying a dictator. When you say stern, it's when you begin to hold your ministers accountable. Then your ministers will hold people under them accountable. When this happens in the Gambia, Gambia will move again. But if we all say, Pate, why didn't you do this? Your ministry is not working. Pate said, yes, sir, because I didn't have a budget. Then you said, oh, okay, Pate, please, you need to work on it. Yes, yes, yes. Nothing. No, that's not going to help. That's not going to work. Give them deadlines. Give them timelines. The former president used to do that, and people thought he was being wicked. No, he would give them a deadline, or he would give them timeline, or what to expect, a budget to expect, especially from the ports. We need so and so this year. What that does, it makes people start working to get there. We're not here to talk about 𝐚𝐬𝐬𝐽. But what I'm saying, that there are certain things that he did as a leader that is what a leader is supposed to do. And those are the good qualities of being a leader, which is to hold people accountable, not by killing them. I didn't say that. Don't twist my words. But by holding them accountable and keeping them on their toes so that they can work. That way they too can keep other people on their tippy toes, and people are working and moving. Gambia is not moving. Gambia is not working right now. Gambia is not working right now. From the elections to now the National Assembly election, nobody's really doing anything. But then we all expect our new MPs to perform. How are they going to perform when nothing is really happening? It all goes hand in hand. My fellow Gambians, let us stop blaming and blaming. Let us see what we can all do collectively. If some of you are good in talking, inspiring, or putting pressure, then put pressure, but in a positive way. If we have to go out there and help, let us do that. Government officials, don't be very sensitive, because that is why you were voted in, or that is why you were elected. A head of state elects you because they am yakar si yow. The head of state def la tana because if I'm yakar si yow, if I'm lum gis si yow. Whether you are capable or not, even if you're not capable and you're in that office, try. Because yalla may na la be tana nañ la out of how many people? President bi tana la ne harama jël ki def ko ci place bi. Try. Show people, déguma angale bu baax de, but I'm a worker. Munuma binda de, waaye liggéeykat la. Liggéeykat. Nii du loo pir binda, am na ñeneen ñu laa mun a bindal, am na ñeneen ñu laa mun a waxal, waaye nga liggéey. Bu ko defee ñu ne président bi day tànn ne kii amul capacité si wax de, amul capacité si binda, waaye liggéey def ñoo liggéey loo bañ soona. That's what we need. We need people to start working. Now, I want to encourage some of the National Assembly members that are going for this run tomorrow. It's Saturday. Excuse me, I have a little cough and cold. Excuse me. When you go in there, this is an opportunity for you. People are out there, you're begging people, you're talking to people, you're campaigning, you're talking to people, begging them basically to vote for you. And this is what happens most of the time. We vote you in, people vote you in, and then you go there and you become complacent and you just accept. Even if you're in the president's party, the National People's Party. Don't go there thinking, okay, I'm going there to please the president. The president comes with some, or the president's office or the government comes with some ridiculous, how do you call it, bids or ridiculous bill. Please, you have a conscience. As much as you are in the NPP, you have a conscience, and you owe it to Gambians. Because even the people that are NPP that vote for you are voting for you so that you can empower the president of the NPP to do better. How do you help your president to do better? is by standing in the National Assembly and saying, listen, I am NPP, but this bill, because of this and this and this, I cannot pass it because it's not right. At the end of the day, listen, when you are about to go out there or when you die, it's only you that is going to face Allah. President is not going to be there. The members of the party NPP are not going to be there. It's only you and God. So regardless of what party you are in, go in there and fight for the Gambia. Because I am sure President Barrow, they selected you NPP and he wants his party. It's a new party. I'm sure he wants his party to do better. I'm sure he doesn't want his party to die after these 5 years. Nobody has a party and want it to die. They want to leave a legacy. They want to live on. PPP has been here how many years? UDP has been here how many years? You know why? Because they have people in there who every time they're arguing, fighting, coming together and then agreeing. And you do the same for your party, regardless if you are on the other side. Don't be complacent. Don't go there and a ridiculous bill come in and you said, because I'm NPP, oh yes, we all vote for it. Listen, if I struggle, you will struggle too. It's just a matter of time, but you will feel it eventually. Because Gambia is small. Gambia is only that many people. And we are all connected. So if you are in there and you make me suffer, you are going to suffer too. That's the reality. Don't think it's only me that's going to suffer. We are all going to suffer. You're going to have family, extended family, that's going to feel it. And then it will be too late to rectify the wrong. So I'm talking to all National Assembly members or all candidates that are vying for the position for the National Assembly. Don't be complacent. Go in there and stand for what you believe in. Right now, you're out there campaigning, you're making promises, you're talking to people. People are looking up to you. People are having faith. People are having hope. People that have voted for Barrow are even disappointed that up to now they have not seen changes. So this is the change. This is the time for you to even help him to make the change he personally wants to do for Gambia, because I know deep down inside him, his personal self, he wants to do better. No head of state wants to sit there and leave office and be the boo-hoo of a country. Every head of state wants to leave office with a wow, definitely lead it, jambarla. And in order for him to have that, it takes all of you to do the right thing by him. They might be upset that you didn't vote because this bill, blah, but guess what? Tomorrow, you will be praised for it. Not only by him, but by everybody else. Because there are some even with him that are not for him. And he doesn't know that. There are some with him that are not for him. They are for their own personal gain. And for all the other political parties or party members, don't go in there, you see a positive bill, and just because it's the president, you feel that you will squash it just because. If you don't understand what is presented, discuss it. Get some people to give you good insight. Talk about it. Then take in what you can and do the right thing. This is a chance, Gambia. This is a chance that we have right now to turn things around, to do the right thing for the Gambians. There's a lot going on. There is a lot going on in this country. I want to thank these ladies. About 18 female or 19 are vying for the National Assembly. And I want to encourage them. It doesn't matter what party they are in or affiliated with. They need to go in there and know that they have a chance as women to represent They're joining the few that were there. So we're going to have more seats if they are voted in. And that is very important that we have that. Excuse me once again. This is an opportunity. Don't say, oh, because I am NPP, I should just say whatever comes for the president. Stand your ground. If it's right, you vote for it. If it's wrong, and you know it's wrong, you give your reasons. And I'm sure, even if you're not forgiven by them, Allah is seeing and He's forgiving you because you have done the right thing. And the people can see too. So I want to call a few names, encouraging this woman and thanking them for coming out and standing and having the audacity to stand for this position, and hope that we can encourage them to do better by supporting them and helping them. For GFA, you have Aminata Jara. I think she's running for Banjul. You have an independent candidate, Fatoumata Njai. I think it's Tuma Njai. UDP, Yakumba Jaite, Serekunda. And CA, you have Nene Frida Gomez. Yakumba, you all know she was in the National Assembly, and you hear how she fights for everything, and she stands her ground. She has a voice. We just need to encourage her, encourage them to strengthen that voice, and also help them understand what they're in for, and encourage them. You have Fatou Sow from Doi, Fatou Jawara from NPP, Aminata Korea, Doi, Amikoli, she's an independent candidate, Kadi Kamara for APRC, Fatou Cham for UDP, Maimuna Tamba, independent, Nyima Kujabi, Doi, Chernoba, NUP, Maimuna Gay, UDP, Jarai, I think it's Fayenke, if I'm not pronouncing your name properly, I'm sorry, UDP, Rohi Sise for NPP, Musukeba Keita for NPP, and Tida Kijera for UDP. I must applaud the UDP for having so many women vying for office for the National Assembly, because they have, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 vying for the National Assembly. Kudos to that. That's woman empowerment. NPP as well are not doing so badly. I think they have 1, 2, 3 women vying for the National Assembly. Doi as well. Doi is doing very well. They have 1, 2, 3 vying for the National Assembly. So they're doing very, very well promoting women into the National Assembly. And kudos to these parties, kudos to them. And the CA and all these other new parties as well, they have women representation standing for the National Assembly. We need to encourage this more and more, because this gives a good standing and support, also encourages our young people, you know, our children, our daughters, to know that the sky is the limit and their voice can be heard. Today, I heard in the news on What's on Gambia, actually, that a 50-year-old man raped a 3-year-old girl. And this, it saddens me. We are in Ramadan, and this is the time for prayer and forgiveness. And things like this are happening at this time of the season, at this holy month. It just shows you either that person is sick, or, you know, something is wrong. And we need to start admitting that we have pedophiles in our country. We need to start admitting that we have rapists in our country. We need to start admitting that we have abusers in our country. We need to start admitting that. And the moment we start admitting that to ourselves, then we can now pursue for justice. We need to also encourage our justice system, people that are in our justice system, to help people to get justice for things that are happening in this country. it's really sad for a mother to have to live through a trauma of your 3-year-old child being raped by a 50-year-old man. This is why we need women to stand. This is why we need the fathers to encourage mothers, women to stand for us, stand for our rights, stand for our children, our daughters. Listen, a country without women will not go, because we are the strength behind every man. So you say góor mu mun a taxaw dóor dinam bi xamal ne am na jigéen bu dëgër bu nekk ci gannaawam. That is why men can never leave their mothers. That is why whatever problems they have, they will run to mama to sort it out one way or the other. Because that woman is the pillar, And when we break our woman, we're not doing any justice or good to the nation. We're not doing any good for our children, our girls. So let us try to encourage more women in parliament, more women in politics, so that we can have a balance. There's a lot of sad things going on in this country, and most of it is geared towards hurting women. And until we stand together, and until we stand together, and until we come together and say no to the injustice on women, injustice on women, it's not going to change. And this is one of the reasons it is very important to encourage these women to be in office. Harama wax ko ci olof ñi nga xam ne na understanding. Jigéen ñi nga xam ne ñoo nekk di taxaw ci National Assembly pour National Assembly bi dañ leen war a encourage, dañ leen war a jàppale. It doesn't matter ban political party lañ nekk, dañ leen war a encourage. The reason is dafa am lu bari loo xam ne mu ngi xew ci suñu dëkk right now. Am na góor buñ ne mu ngi 50 years old boo xam ne dafa rape xale bu am ñetti at. Loolu daw na yaram, loolu miti na sa pour dégg. Waaye dañ war a door di as Gambians di accept ne am na ñu mel noonu ci biir dëkk, am nañ pédophile ci biir dëkk bi, war nañoo accept ne am na ñoo xam ne ñu ngi fi di rape xale yi, loolu dañ ko war a accept. War nañoo accept ne am na ñoo xam ne de nymphomaniacs. So we need to accept all these things. And then war nañu accept ne dëgg la am nañ ay loi, waaye loi yi teguñ ko ci yoon wala teguñ ko wala how do you call it, implementuñ ko. So lii moo tax ñun soxla ay jigéen ñu nekk ci place mun a make sure ne lii yépp implement nañ ko, bu ko defee yu tilim yii nii nga gis di xew, imagine ñu ngi ci weeri koor, yu tilim yii nii mu génn ci suñ dëkk bi duñ mun a génne yépp wa at least dina tane. Parce que bala nga dem di rape a 3-year-old di nga ko xalaataat boo dofoon sax doo dofati, because you will be locked up for life. You understand? Because that's just wrong. But anyway, ma bugga encourage rek ñi nga xam ne ñoo taxaw, jigéen ñi nga xam ne ñoo taxaw pour National Assembly yi, young women yi nii, pour ñu encourage leen, ñu dooleel leen, ñu taxaw. Te ñoom tamit bu fekkee ne nit ñi génn nañ ñu dooleel leen bañ dugga, buñ fàtte lañ doon digge ci mbedd bi, buñ fàtte biñ génnee bi ñuy wax ak nit ñi pour nit ñi votal leen liñ leen dig ak liñ leen wax. Parce que soo gisee nit ñi am yaakaar ci yéen pour dëkk bi mun a dem kanam la. Boo leen demee ci biir assembly bi bu leen dem ne man ci parti président bi laa nekk, président bi office am bill buñ ñëwee rek dañ ko accept whether the bill is right, ndax bill bi baax na, ndax bill bi baaxul, ndax bill bi pour dina njëriñ dëkk bi, ndax du njëriñ dëkk bi, ngeen dem because of président bi rek ngeen def lu leen neex. Loolu ëllëg bu la yàlla génnee ci àddina yow rek ak yàlla rek, kenn du fa nekk, président bi du fa nekk, NPP du fa nekk, ñi la wóor di la encourage du fa nekk, yow ak yàlla rek, yow kese yaa fay nekk. You have to answer to that. So nañ leen jagar suñu réew, nañ leen boole ñu nekk benn, ñu jagar suñu réew. Boo leen duggee foofu ngeen xam li tax ngeen dugga foofu, ngeen xam yaakaar biñ leen nit ñi teg, ngeen dimbale nguur bi ñu mun a liggéey, ngeen dimbale nguur gi ñu am loi yoo xam ne mun nañ ko yóbbu ci kanam, ngeen taxaw comme si oncle Khalifa Sallah taxaw ci tànki dëgg, taxaw ci loo xam ne mun naa dimbale dëkk bi. Parce que doo leen dimbale rek président bi, da ngeen a dimbale ñépp, ngeen a dimbali. Bu ko defee ëllëg beneen élection ñu ne ñii day taxawoon nañ taxaw bu dëgg xaaral ñu votal leen. Soo gisee tey Yakuma Jaiteh ñëpp di ko xeexal ne nañ ko delloo waat mu dugga si National Assembly bi because of bam nekkee foofu lim daan taxaw di xeex lim daan taxaw di wax lim daan taxaw tey moo tax tey ñu bëri taxaw ne lu tax du taxaw déedéet foog mu taxaw ñu xeexal ko pour mu dellu. Nobody's perfect. am na mistake yum def am na yum correct. Well, nobody's perfect. We all have our opinion. waaye ba tey ñëpp taxaw nañ ne she has a voice te mun naa dellu foofu te loolu la ñëpp di ñaan pour nit ñi taxawal leen jox leen baat ne na kii dellu loolu dafa neex sax. That means you did something right. te political parties yi nga xam ne opposition lañ même man as an independent candidate buñ toog fii di pousse suñ nit ñi ci National Assembly bi pour ñu def loo xam ne dafay nekk yu fi sabotage loo xam ne bill bu correct la xool leen ko seggal leen ko dimbale leen seen candidates yi ñu make a good decision for the good of the Gambia. loolu li muy def dafay diggaral yow sa parti bi dafay diggaral yow sa parti bi ne ha ñii seen candidate bi they are very xam nga correct pour ëllëg. Let us stop doing things for self. Let us do things that will benefit all of us, benefit our country, benefit our nation. That is the only way our nation will go forward. Tey mun nañoo toog ñu taacul ñeneen dëkk yi nga xam ne ñu ngi tànn jigéen di leen post comme America bi ñu tànnee seen new lady for the justice system ñu ñëpp a ngi koo post ñu ñëpp a ngi ci kontaan waaye ñun tamit noonu lañ waree mun a kontaan pour suñ jigéen yi nekk fii pour ñu pousse leen ñu dem ci kanam ñu kontaan si ñoom ñu bluffé leen ñu encourage leen. so ngeen jégal ma nag suma olof bi def di xaw a lëju but I think you all got the message. So let us encourage our National Assembly members. Even though I'm pushing the women, I'm also saying that the guys, there are lots of young men out there who are vying for the office. Don't just vie for this office, you get voted in and all you do, you complacent, you're just looking for something for your pocket, or you're looking just to make sure that you're okay, or trying to do favors. No, go in there for the better of the country. I always tell people, left to me alone, that National Assembly will have only independent bodies because they will have their own mind, they will not have any influence from any political party, and they can also vote or make decisions that will be good for everybody, because you'll be on your own. The independent candidates that are going out there, kudos to all of you. Stand firm, stand on what you believe in. It is very difficult to stand as an independent candidate, but su leen yàlla mayee ba ngeen dugga ba ngeen jàlla ngeen xam li tax ngeen taxaw te li tax yàlla taala leen ba ngeen dugga foofu noonu. You stand by what is right for country. The National Assembly is a very powerful house. Gambia fii lañ dee tuutil lu nekk ñu tuutil ko ñu ñàkkaloo ko fayda. But no. The National Assembly is one of the most powerful houses where decisions can be made. And proper decisions can be made, or bad decisions can be made as well, or voted in. So I want to thank all of you for taking your time watching me today. Juma Mubarak, all the people that are wishing me Juma Mubarak, happy Ramadan, Ramadan Kareem to all of you. I'm so glad you all joined me today to watch. This is just something encouraging for the National Assembly, and I want to encourage our government officials, our government people. Don't take criticism negatively. Try to do better. Try to work harder. Go out there and look at what is really happening in the country. Don't sit back and just because other countries are saying that price rocket high or whatever, and you just use that as an excuse for your country. Gambia doesn't have to fit in that category because Gambia is only 2 million inhabitants. We have our farms. We have how do you call it? We should have had rice. The Minister of Agriculture, I'm calling upon you guys, your department, to really start igniting agriculture in the quickest manner and capacity. Put all your guys out there, come up with some strategy where we can boost our agriculture. We need, a country cannot move without, without food. There should be some sustainability here in the Gambia. We don't have to export everything. oh sorry, import everything. You know, we should even thinking of exporting. You know, instead of sitting here, everything is imported. Onions imported, rice imported, oil imported. What happened to our groundnut factory? What happened to groundnut oil? You know, we have so much that we can do as a nation. Yes, people will say that, oh, we cannot go to the farms. We want people to go back to the farms. But they need the government to ignite these things. You have to initiate these things. The capacity is not there. The financial capacity is not there in the Gambia. You ignite. There are people who are trying in their own capacity, like Aji Kumbadafe, doing all this. What are you doing as a government to encourage that she has more or she can do more? What are you encouraging? There's another lady or young guy I see growing onions. What are you doing as a government, as a capacity to help them to expand? How are you supporting them or having a collaboration with them so that we can expand these things? Come on. Create a team in your departments. These teams can now work together and strategize on ways to make things happen. Get out of your big automatic air-conditioned cars and let us work together as a nation. We are the only ones that can do this. I went to a store the other day, and anything I touched was like 7,000, 8,000. I said, listen, why is your price so high? Who are you selling to? He said, oh, you know, with the war in Ukraine. I said, are you kidding me? Dude, these are dusty. That means they've been here way before the war. What has the war got to do with your dusty, you know, and you pricing it so high? You didn't even get a container come in recently. You're talking about, oh, the Ukraine. Let us stop this, Gambians. Let us stop this. Just because there's a war somewhere, how many millions, thousands of miles away, we are sitting here increasing the price of just shallot onions. Huh? We're not even talking about other things. We have seafood. We have our rice field. We have vegetables. What else do you need? We rear our own cattle, our own sheep. How can the price of Ukraine or the war in Ukraine and Russia affect us so badly that the local commodities, we have to hijack the prices just because? You know, I don't understand that. Let us stop being so greedy. You come out of your garden, you go around your garden, you pluck lettuce and tomatoes and everything, you sit outside, you sell it. Nga dem gene sa hobby salad, tomate, jahatu, nga ñew tok ci biti jaay ko because diwa ngi import tomate from Senegal. Yow nga sa boss yang ko just grow sa backyard, nga ne den ko jaay the same price as Kali just because. Huh? I tell people, in America, there's this, what I call the Chinese system. You see a Chinese store selling a cup for $10. That same cup, you go to another American store, they're selling it for $40. Same cup. But you see, the Chinese is probably making $1 profit on that cup. But they bring over 10, 15 containers a year. The American store is selling maybe one cup per maybe week or two, or per day. But they bring only 1 or 2 containers. Who's making more money? Who's making more money? But just because Pate is getting tomatoes from Senegal and sending tomatoes kilo 75, you are right there in the backyard. You selling the same tomato 75. When you know, si gannaaw rek nga dem nga génne ko, instead of nga wàññi sa price, bu ko defee sax mu gaaw a dem, nga mun a grow yaat more tomatoes sa backyard, gën a make xaalis sax ka toog di ko jaay 75. Nga seet kan si kan la ñoo jënda sa tomate bi su rafetee comme tamateem te mu ngi cheap $30. Ah? $20. Let's say this year, what is your expense? What is your expense? But all these things have to be regulated. And we have a government body that is responsible for this. We need to start being serious as a nation. This is all too much. If we grow our own rice, we don't have to sit here and talk about price of rice. And my brothers and sisters from the diaspora, let us not talk about, oh, in the diaspora, there's price increment. Yes, in the diaspora, there's price increment, but guess what? There's salary increment too. There's salary increment too. You can walk now in a department store and get $16, $18 an hour. So that's a good wage for somebody that is starting out. And I know that because I have kids. I have young kids that are applying for jobs. I say, how much are they paying? Oh, they're paying $16. Really? Wow. When I was in Chicago, I had staff and I was paying them something like what? $10 an hour? That was then. Imagine now, $15, $16, $18 an hour for minimum wage. So you can't compare that, the West or the diaspora with here. You can't. There's no price increment. The guy that was making $1,500 or $2,000 3-4 years ago is still making the same $2,500. But bag of rice is $2,500. So tell me, how can that guy survive? How can that guy that is making $2,500 all these years, before Hinamalos, I was $1,000, wala $1,300, wala $1,500, mu $8,600, mu nge manage bete. Leg malo, if you want to eat good rice, or the Saddam, last time I asked, was $2,500. I was talking to a lady, the lady said, you're $2,500, man, $2,650. So who can afford that? That's $50. People are making $50 a month in this country. Excuse me. You cannot compare that with people making $18 an hour or $25 an hour, or if you're doing good, $75 an hour, $150 an hour in a country like that, where you have a choice. In America, you have a choice how you want to shop. You can go to certain stores in certain neighborhoods and you can buy a big pack of minced meat for $3.99. Or you can go to certain stores and buy organic, where the pack is so small, and you can buy it for $5.99 or $6.99 or $4.99 for minced meat, with 97% meat and 2% fat, or 3% fat. So you have a choice. But in the Gambia, do we have a choice? Do we have that choice? No, we don't. So let's stop comparing. Let us see how we can encourage, and maybe, I don't know, if government officials are not going out and seeing what is happening, we come on here and we talk about these things. Maybe they are listening. Maybe they are too busy to do that. But maybe they are listening and they can say, what? Tomato is this price? Let me go and find out. Or let me send somebody. Let us not mislead, because everything has a balance. Everything has a balance. In these countries, there's choices. You know? And then they work with the people, making sure, okay, they have, an increment in price, or salaries are increased. And then they have a lot of other opportunities or other things. Like, for example, in America, people that cannot afford to eat, they can go to WIC, or they can go to Salvation Army. They have all these outlets where they can get food, they can get stuff. I used to donate to some of these places. Do we have that in the Gambia? I mean, really, do we have that in the Gambia? There's no outlet like that. So you cannot compare the Western countries to what we have here. What we have here is hardship. It's either people knock on your door and said, "Doma dimbale awma luma leka. Yo tam sisa hol nga gene nga maye wala nga jappale." But there's no demal fi nakaturati si church bi wala demal Salvation Army wala there's none of that here. In America, you have these food pantries. People can go there. And they even tell you, if you have things to donate, donate to these food pantries or the churches or wherever you can donate. When I was in Bahrain, it was around Ramadan. And you have a lot of houses that will donate food outside in the evening for iftar. They will all come out with food. So the people that cannot can eat for free. Or they'll take their freezers outside. Because they have the financial capacity to do that, where they can put the freezer outside or fridge outside. Nga send security talk, baku ñew rek nga jël nga dem. ah wala ñu tooga big nga gis ni ñu ñëw ñu lekka wala nga gis ñu jël lifin yóbbu ko si mosque bi pour ñi nga xam ne amuñ pour ndogu ñu jox leen. So let's not compare these, developed countries to our country that is underdeveloped. We are trying to develop the country and encourage people. So let us try as Gambians to always, not try to, the politicians say this, or yes, I know some politicians are really abusing the situation only to get into office. But the reality also is there is hardship on ground. And there is unnecessary price inflation where there shouldn't be any price inflation. And that's just the reality. And until the government puts its foot down and, their regulatory body comes out there and regulates stuff, it's not going to change. And when they do regulate it, they need to make sure whoever is caught is fined. Start finding people. The police can make so much money. The government can make so much money just by giving fines. I say that all the time. Even our traffic. We sit here all day and cry. How many people are dying? Accidents. I wrote and Fatu posted the other day about an accident. And I said, yes, until we have laws and rules and regulations, we're going to have people dying in our streets. Here you'll see a little boy have a license. Why most of them driving school? Dafa jël moto rek di talal ñu jox ko license. I had a guy who said, Auntie Mary munna there was a moto bi. I said, you cannot drive my car because he said, I have a license. I said, you cannot. And then I said, okay, let me see what you can do. He was reversing. He almost knocked the wall. He cannot reverse. Regular taxi driver, somebody in reverse. You have little boys driving a big old truck. Nobody's checking them. Nobody's, giving them a ticket. You have old trucks on the road that are not supposed to run on this road, You see a tail light off, hanging. Sometimes the light at night, they don't even have lights. No one's stopping them. The police can be making money just by giving these people tickets. Even when you throw a paper out of your car, you can get a ticket. Keep the city clean. Keep our country clean. There's just so much. We need to start being a serious nation. Each police department can start making money by giving tickets, going to court. When we talk about court too, our court system, these judges, lawyers, let us stop adjourning cases that are so simple and adjourning. People have to travel, go back home. The people have to, and then you're just adjourning some simple cases until the people get fed up and the case is dropped. It's a whole system. It's the whole system. There's a lot to do, and there's a lot of ways that Gambia can make money. And when you implement these laws help control how people behave. It controls how we act as people. It controls the accident that is happening in the country. If you start suing a negligent nurse or a hospital that was negligent to kill somebody, trust me, they'll be careful next time. If there's action taken or the license is looked into and seen that the license was not proper or this doctor's license expired, then guess what? Soon things will start getting back to normal. But everything, we just leave it like that and say, Ndeysaan, Yalla jël bakkanam. Do you know what it means to be when they say untimely death? Untimely death. Danga dee te sa waxtu jotut. So there's a lot of things we can do. I had a conversation with a former IGP, may his soul rest in peace. I used to say, IGP, all your police stations should be able to renovate their own offices if they start ticketing. Because there's so much ticket. When I'm driving alone or when I'm looking around, there's so much ticket to be giving. By the time I'm done ticketing, people, either they will drive carefully or they'll be paying the fine. But something has to give. Something have to give. Checks and balances. And it's just all sectors. It's all sectors. There's a complete revamp that needs to be done. Mr. President, you have a lot of work to do. And you need to really start looking at everything and begin to take a holistic approach on how you're going to do things, and also tighten your heart a bit and let go of some people that are just there as your friends, because that's not going to work for this country. What we need is people that are ready to work. And it's going to be good for you as a head of state, because the people that are not just there for your, oh, Mr. President, you look good. These are the people that are going to help you to fix this country. But if you have people around you that anything you say, any nonsense you say, anything that is wrong or correct, they applaud you, Mr. President, your tenure will not be a good one. And as much as we are opposition, we don't hate you. You're human. You're a Gambian. We want you to perform. Even when we say, okay, the president win, the president didn't win this, you're there. Perform so that we can now, the opposition perform, you know, then minds will change. Things will change because you're doing something. And it's not for you to do it by yourself, like come out and, you know, you have people. That's why you are the boss. You are the CEO. And this is your company. And you have your heads of each of your departments. And you need to start holding them accountable, giving them deadlines to do certain projects, and making sure that these projects are being done. That way, your tenure, people will judge you by what you have really accomplished and done for the country. Not by, oh, he's a nice president. Oh, he's a peaceful president. Yes, peace is great. It's good to be peaceful. But there's no peace when you're hungry. There's no peace when you go to the shop, bread is $7, then it's $10, then you go back, it's $12. There's no peace. That is not peace. Trust me. That is not peace. Peace is when you go to the shop and the bread was 7 and it's still 7. Then nga am jama. Peace is nga dem marché muna jënd jën. 4 jën 200. Even that is expensive, but it's still better. Peace is not when you go today, fish is $200 for 4, and then you go back, those same 4, they sell you $200, and now it's $1,000. That is not peace. Who can afford four red snapper for $1,000? Really? In the market? Or now you go and want to buy, they say go to the factory and it's per kilo. Gambians are not used to kilo weighing fish. When we are surrounded by seafood, by fish. You bari leka tu isa sipa. Much to say tiger prawns. Some of you that are in office right now, is now you even know the difference between tiger prawns and sipa. You didn't even know it. You didn't even know what seda was. And you just sit there and you see price skyrocket. You don't feel sorry for your brothers and sisters out there. Come on. But anyway, I hope, we all have hope that these young people going to the National Assembly will bring about change. And we all work towards the good of the country. It doesn't matter who the head of state is, we all want him to succeed. Because at the end of the day, when you go to other countries, they will say, oh, is your president Mr. Barrow? You want to be proud and say, yes. Did you vote for him? Well, I didn't, but, you know, he's great. He's doing a good job now. He's changed a lot of things. Even as much as you don't like him, you will say something because it's positive. Nobody wants to say, oh, your president is Adam Abad, and they start laughing at you. Because whatever our head does, it reflects on us, the people. We want to, hear people talk good about our president, regardless whether, we like him or not. Because here we're not looking at self. We're looking at the nation as a whole. How it affects us when we travel, how it affects us when we talk to our neighbors, how it affects us when we talk to other people. Our country, how is it developing? How is it going? I had a conversation with a friend of mine yesterday, Senegalese. He said, bëgg naa Gambie mel ni meloon wala gën a rafet. Gambie dafa war a rafet. Gambie dafa tuuti. Gambie dafa war a jekk. Gambie dafa war a nekk foo xam ne dañuy dem foofu vacances, xam nga. The paradise. And that is my dream for Gambia too. My hope and dream for Gambia. To make Gambia the it place to be. I have tons of friends all over the world wanting to come to the Gambia, asking me, what is the best time to come? I don't even know when is the best time to come. When I do a drone or satellite review of the streets, all I see is red sand. You barely see the tar road. The tar road is being covered by all that red sand. I remember the time they done bale tale yi sax. Waaye léegi doo gis sax tali bi, suuf bu xonga bi rek nga gis all over the place. Only red sand. Gambia is like a, you just see houses popping here and there in the middle of the desert. That's how Gambia is looking like right now. Garbage everywhere. Trash everywhere. I'm tired. I would say, no. Even when people sit in my car, don't throw any paper out there. Put it in the car. When we go, you take it in my car. I have a garbage can. How many of us do that? When I go out and see somebody take something and throw it out, why would you do that? We need to do better. Gambia used to be clean. Gambians, they have one Gambians as set. Then the Gambians they set. So anyway, finger buga leki Gambian because of a set, negam the set. You can go in the Gambians' house, you look under their chairs, under their bed is clean. You go to other countries, don't look under their bed because cockroach will fly out of there. Gambians then set. But now what we are seeing, I don't know what happened. Everything is deteriorating, everything is dirty, everything is dusty, everything is, and it's like nobody cares. The guy school like a sunny fale, wala kunyo house, they eat, then they wipe their hand on the wall, and it's like, hey, me, I scrub my walls. Huh? Well, my brothers and sisters, I've been here talking to all of you. If I have said anything offensive to any of you, why? I'm not saying it to be negative. Dama ko wax rek pour ñu mëna dem kanam. Dama ko wax rek pour ñu mëna sétat suñu bop ñu ci wéri koor. Ñu waxanti dëgga. Ñu sét li dëgga. Ñu jéma try suñu dëkk bi dem kanam. So bu fekkee ne dama fi wax loo xam ne am na ñum naxari ngeen jéggal ma ngeen jël ko positive because I'm a very positive person. Loo gis rek am na lu tax nit wax ko foog ñu wax waaye suñu waxee tamit ñu waxtaan mun ngeen maa kool ñu waxtaan bu ñu waxtaanee ñu déggante ñu am jàmm waaye the truth and the matter is we cannot see things and we close our eye. Since everybody said now I am a politician, I accept I am a politician. And as a politician, I need to come here and say what is right. Say what I'm seeing. No fear or favor. If UDP had won the elections and Hussein Dabo had put me in an office and he's not doing the right thing, I will tell him that, Baba, I didn't stand with you and, and you're doing the wrong thing. The same with the president. I will say the right thing. I will do the right thing because it's not about them. It's about me and how I want to look in the eyes of God. Because when I die, they're not coming with me. When they die, I'm not going with them. So they can hire me or they can fire me. Very simple. But the truth, I will say it. Because dara jaraluma ko. Buga suma rew, moo tax may cee wax bugga suma réew moo tax may taxaw si tànki dëgga bu fekkee ne nag dëgga lay wax ba génn ci àddina alhamdulillah ma ne alhamdulillah ëllëg you all remember me and say ndeysaan ngeen seetaan suma videos yi dégluwaat suma wax yi because at the end of the day that's all you got. When you go to bed, you sleep at night. Ramadan Mubarak to everyone. Ramadan Mubarak Katim Ture. Ramadan Mubarak Binta Bas. Ramadan Mubarak to, I think, Binta Bas. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all so very much, really. Ramadan Mubarak to everyone in the Gambia, around the world, our friends of the Gambia. And like I said, this is the time for prayer. This is the time for forgiveness. This is the time to look into ourselves. You set us in bopa, set us in dekabi, degus in bopa. Diko nuyu nak suñ head of state neko Ramadan Mubarak to His Excellency Adama Barrow. Yow tamit su fekkee ne dama la wax lu la naxari nga jégal ma waaye dama am pour wax la dëgg bi. Il faut nga taxaw, il faut nga jóg nga takka sa ndigga nga dimbali askan bi. Li nga diggee ci sa campagne trail bi yàlla jox la ba nga ne nit ñi votal nañ la nga taxaw ci nga jàppale sa nit ñi gestu sa nit ñi xool li nga xam ne moom la nit ñi di jooy seet naka ngay munee def sa ministers yi accountable ñu taxaw ñu liggéey yaa ngi am 4.5 years almost to go because yaa ngi 2022 so 2022 to 2026 soreetul. There's a lot that can be done. Why you need a team, a strong team, not team of favor. Wala ay harit, wala ay mboka. A team. Nguur team la. Nguur amul mboka. Nguur amul harit. Nguur amul dom. Nguur amul ki suma baay la, ki suma yaay la. Your first mistake was saying, oh, this is my father. The moment you say this is my father, there's a problem. Because as a father, then you should always look up to him and not do any mistake by him and with him. But if you look at him as a human being, as a professional, by now, what happened would not have happened. So let us stop doing this dogo thing, this maslaha, ki suma mboka la, ki suma brother la, ki suma uncle la, lolu mo neka di delo Gambia gannaaw. Ken du ne bul dimbali sa mboka. Wala bul empower sa family. Why nga set nguur nit, different kinds of people coming with the same ideology or the same interest, coming together to work together to move it forward. Bo demee yeneen dëkk America, it's not about family. Joe Biden bokkut ak jigéen bim taxawal. Obama mu ngi xeexal pour Joe Biden pour bi moo dem elections mu ngi ko taxawal waaye du mbokkaam bokkee wuñ sax xeetoo wuñ sax waaye lenn rek lañ bokka mooy benn America bi benn America rek lañ am ñoom ñépp mooy fiñ juddoo fiñ màggee loolu moo tax ñu nekk benn bugg a liggéeyal dëkk bi. So His Excellency Adama Barrow man loolu laa ñaan nga seet dëkk bi seet ñi nga xam ne bokkuloo ñoom ñi nga xam ne pare nañoo liggéey duñ sa xarit duñ sa àndadool du ñoom ñoo la dimbale woon wala ñoom ñoo la nëbbu woon si ron lal bi wala nëbba la si gannaaw bunta bi ñii ñoo xam ne ay professionals la ñoo xam ne dañ paree liggéey nga def leen ñu liggéey ñi nga xam ne ñu ngi sa nguur bi di liggéey nga gestu leen yokka leen doole ñu gën a mun a liggéey dëkk bi mun a dem kanam because loo fi yàgga toog benn bés di nga wàcc te boo wàccee it bëgg nga ñu ne lii la fi diw def lii la fi président bi def lii la fi defoon Yaya Jammeh ñi ko fi bañ bari na ñi ko fi bëgg tamit bari nañ parce que ñu ne def na lii bil na university def na nii te dëgg la so at the end of the day the Gambians want one thing: development and a better life, a better living. That is it. Gambian bi lu ko kontaan loo sa bari wut ndeysaan. We are so easily happy, easily content. so easily content. So as long as they're okay with their daily needs, anything, Mr. President, that you do above and beyond is a bonus. It's a bonus. So with that message, I want to thank all of you. And I want to once again say Juma Mubarak to all, Ramadan Kareem. And I hope as we go into this Ramadan, saying Bismillah, and we finish with Alhamdulillah. May the Almighty Allah answer all our prayers. May the Almighty Allah bless us, soften our hearts. May the Almighty Allah help us to be forgiving with one another. May the Almighty Allah also touch the hearts of our leaders, our ministers, and all these people in the Gambia to see the truth and to live by the truth and to do the truth. Being a Muslim or a Christian is not about going to church or going to the mosque all the time. It's about what is in here. Are you godly enough? Are you true to yourself? You can japa Julie 5 times a day, my friend, and here it's not godly. And that is what is important. So thank you all very much. And you all have a nice day. I've been talking a lot. And I just want to put everything out there. Thank you all for watching. Juma Mubarak and Ramadan Kareem. Thank you.